Hello all, welcome back to another video and welcome to Sammy G's World of Cinema. Today on the channel, I wanted to do a bit of a different video. Now this is it's been a little bit on my mind recently about my take on a sort of like a physical media release might hold a great deal of value in subsequent months and subsequent years. Do I jump on that bandwagon of buying this physical media release right away, or have I just waited months and then it kind of holds a bit more value? It kind of jumps up in price, and then that item goes out of print, and then it's kind of having to sort of sail through secondhand market and try and get that item and stuff. And for myself, where am I willing to go that extra mile in regards to paying that bit extra towards that item? And that's kind of what this video is about. I've made the mistake before, guys, of kind of sleeping on a new release that came out last year. I've gotten a good example with this, the 4K limited edition set of Carrie that it came out from Arrow. And at the time I was like, do I really want to buy this right away, considering this is a movie that I normally watch in October time in the Halloween season, and I kind of knew I was seeing it at Tyneside Cinema, part of the all-nighter anyway. Regretfully, a year later, I didn't decide to pounce on that limited edition sooner than I should have. And now it goes on eBay for a pretty penny. It goes for about £10-15 more than its original retail price. Now, am I willing at some point to go that extra mile and pay £10-15 extra for that beautiful looking limited edition of Carrie? And the answer is, guys, yes, I probably would. And I think because this is a film I love anyway, and there's not going to be many opportunities like this in the future where I get this beautiful looking limited edition. Okay, it's 10-15 quid more than its original price in HMV or other places when it originally came out. But I think just because I'm not going to get many chances of getting this in subsequent months to come, this is something I definitely would consider getting in the future. And it's just, I'm willing to go that extra mile of paying that extra £10-15 of getting it. It's, something that I'm definitely, umming and ahhing about of getting. But there's another good example of this now. The Valley of Guanji. Now, I remember seeing this. It was in the 2 for £15 sale in HMV about 3-4 years ago, and I just felt I just kept holding it off and holding it off. And then I saw really good word of mouth about this movie through the film community and stuff, and I wanted to get it. I looked on HMV's website and stuff, and and then it went out of print. A lot of these HMV premium titles are, one of which I am going to talk about in a minute. But so I went secondhand market, and obviously I kind of wish I jumped on this sooner when it was in HMV and stuff. But last year I was looking on eBay. I was like, do you know what? I would love to see this movie in the best quality possible. And one day, one listing came up about £10, or maybe less than that actually, probably £7 more than its original retail price. I unfortunately didn't jump on this sooner when it was included in the 2 for £15 deal, but I was definitely wanting to get this, you know, like, considering I probably would regretfully not getting this when it came up on eBay that day, and, you know, like, it was about, yeah, like £7-8 more than its original retail price, which would have been about £15. But I saw it went for just in my price range, and I know I wasn't going to get as many opportunities of getting this like in my collection. So I thought, right, I'm gonna bite the bullet, and I'm gonna like add this to my collection. And I did pay a pretty penny for this, but considering this is long out of print now, I might have not even got another chance of getting this. Than the decision I made to getting this like last year. So yeah, and did I think it was worth it, guys? Absolutely, because it was a movie that I was dying to see, you know, like I remember hearing Stuart talking really highly of this movie, you know, and all things Ray Harryhausen, and then that kind of inspired me to track down this movie, especially this premium copy, because we might never have the opportunity of this movie getting like this great like you know, like treatment again in regards to like the poster and the art cards in here as well. What I love about these premium titles as well, that it comes with its original artwork. You've got the poster of, you know, like the replica of the original poster in there as well, and I just think, yeah, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm definitely having some of that. A limited edition now that I did decide to pre-order before its release, and you can get the 4K on its own with a nice glossy slip cover, I believe. But being a big fan of this movie, I knew it was in my gut feeling that I had to like get this special anniversary release of this, and I pre-ordered it last year and made no regrets paying the price I did for it, its original retail price. And you know, like, it's a sublime western from one of the absolute greats, Sergio Leone. And yeah, that was Once Upon a Time in the West. I just knew if I didn't pre-order this and get this, I would have massively regret it in like months, years to come. Considering, you know, like, it's first time on 4K in like the UK, and you know, you've got a nice poster and art cards, and I think you might get a mini booklet in there as well. And I just thought, because the 4K would have been like £22-23 on its own, and I thought, like, I'm getting a little bit more with like the art cards and a nice poster in there, and all that bells and whistles. It was worth going that extra mile with getting this beautiful like limited edition, and I really like this edition of it as well. I think it's a really great Paramount release there. The transfer, I will say, has got like mixed reception. Some people really liked the transfer, and some people wasn't as keen on the transfer. I thought the transfer was decent. Probably, in my personal opinion, I don't know if it was a massive upgrade from the Blu-ray, in my personal opinion, but I'm so glad I just got it for this special 55th anniversary edition. So that is kind of why I was glad I made the decision of getting this when I did. I would have been happy still if I got the 4K on its own, but just with a few more like goodies in there, I thought that was well worth it. And yeah, I'm not too sure in regards to the Blu-ray version of this. You might be able to get the Blu-ray version of this still, but the 4K edition of this, I think, goes for about 55 to 60 pounds now on eBay and stuff. And would I have paid the extra 20, 25 quid for this off eBay? Probably not. I think it was one of these, maybe I just would have got like the standard release off if I knew that it was going to be astronomical in price with like this box set. But nonetheless, I was glad that I got this. I think it was about 30 to 35 pounds off HMV's website a couple of years ago, and I loved the movie. Very out there, like you would expect in a David Cronenberg movie. And I just think Arrow did such a brilliant job. They went all out with this movie. The first time that this film was on released on Blu-ray in 4K in the UK like a couple of years ago, and it's so many special features. Again, you've got a poster, a beefy booklet in there, and I thought it was just well worth the price at the time. And I just knew if I didn't jump on this limited edition, I knew in subsequent years or subsequent months to come, I would have massively regretted it. So I'm glad I made that safe decision. If anyone is thinking about wanting to get this version, though, guys, of this film, getting this on second-hand market, I would say to you guys, if you think it's worth that price, just go for it, because especially if you're a big fan of the movie as well, because it's just that case of how many chances is there to get like this like out in the wild or on second-hand market. So yeah, I think maybe if I didn't get this upon release, and if it was like, say, I missed out on it, and then in like a subsequent year or so, if it was like £45 or something, I probably would have settled for, but really glad I got it when I did. And that's the 4K Arrow edition of Naked Lunch. Now, I will say, guys, my box, unfortunately, is a little bit in battered condition, unfortunately, because I did move about a bit when owning this, but nonetheless, I'm still really glad to have this. Not in the best condition is the box, unfortunately, now, but still glad to own it despite the condition. And you know, it does hold a bit of value now, and it's a really fantastic film from David Cronenberg, based off the William S. Burroughs novel of the same name, and it is a really great like addition there. I will say, before moving on to like this record and stuff, now going back to HMV Premium, now I did see the listings, a couple listings on eBay or secondhand market of the Omega Man. The HMV Premium Edition. You can still get the standard Blu-ray for about 10 to 15 pounds, which isn't too bad. But I always toy with the idea, do I pay 10 to 15 pounds for the standard Blu-ray, or do I go that extra mile and possibly go and try and track down that HMV Premium Edition for an extra 10 to 15 pounds? And the answer, guys, is yes, I think I would. You know, like, there's not many copies of this HMV Premium Edition now, and it is quite a rarity, and you know, it's been long out of print. So yeah, that is something I would love to like try and track down someday. And it's got the original artwork on like the box as well, and yeah, and considering I'd be paying like an extra 10 15 pound for, like, I think there's like a poster and a couple of art cards in there, I'd probably be willing to pay that price. If it was like £50 though, I probably would have to kindly give it a pass. But if I were knowing that it's gonna come with like a poster and art cards, and I'd be paying like an extra 10 to 15 pound for it, and it holds a great deal of value now, and it is a bit of a rarity, I probably would be willing to go that extra mile, and regretfully not getting it upon release when it was like, I think would have been about £15 in HMV when it came out. So that's kind of something I've been like toying with that idea. But also just in terms of pre-orders now, I try and, if there's a limited edition I want and I'm thinking, do you know what, I want to get this someday, I kind of made the mistake of in the past where I kind of just slept on that limited edition for many months. If there's limited editions I know I want to get eventually, then I kind of have to ask, how long is this going to be around for? How long is this going to be in like on the shelves or on the racks at HMV? I have to kind of ask myself that and try and get it sooner rather than later. And pre-ordering it is kind of a bit of a weight off my chest, really, because then I know I'm going to get this like fancy limited edition, and then it's not having to feel the pressure of when I'm going to get this, when is a good time to get this, is this going to go out of print eventually? And it kind of, you know, like it would put my, kind of put things at ease there and stuff. But I would say, guys, yeah, a bit of advice there. If there's a limited edition that kind of meets like to your demands and you're thinking about getting it, my piece of advice to you guys is just to go for it. If it's a movie that you absolutely love, especially, and you know, like, you know that it's a lovely edition of that movie, I would say, yeah, definitely go for it. And especially if it's in your like price range and you think it's worth that, I would say definitely go for it, because I've made the mistake of not jumping on like a special release of something sooner rather than later. And yeah, and there's a few other like titles in the premium collection that are a good example of that as well. But yeah, so also like I've shown it a couple of times on the channel, but there's like the BFI edition of Get Carter from BFI on 4K, and I was so happy to pre-order that when I did, and I got it like nearly 3 years ago when it came out, because I loved the movie and I just knew that BFI just went through the wow factor, and it's a movie I love, and I wanted a nice special release of it, and I had to ask myself, do I really want it to get this? And the answer was yes. And I know the 4K release is quite tricky to get now. I don't think it's impossible to get. I think you can get a couple of like listings of that release like on eBay and stuff. So yeah, and I was really glad to. The same with BFI, like Seven Samurai and Watership Down. I was really glad to get those 4K releases, because you just never know, guys. Who can tell? They could become like a rarity one day and go out of print. But hopefully they'll be there to stay in like HMV and, you know, like online stores and stuff like in subsequent months to come. So it gives more and more people still a chance to get like those releases whilst they're still in print and that. But yeah, like I did pre-order the likes of the Scanners and the Brood, and also Kronos from like BFI on 4K, because they are quite limited releases, and I love both Scanners and the Brood from David Cronenberg, and Kronos will be a first time watch for me, but it falls in line with those beautiful BFI 4K editions, so I thought I would jump on that when I did. And the same with the Doctor Who, the collection range. I've got all of them bar season 10 with John Pertwee, and that unfortunately nowadays goes for triple digits, but hopefully one day it will fall into my price range of getting it. And I think yeah, it would be, it might be a long time till I get season 10 part of the Doctor Who, classic Doctor Who, the collection range on Blu-ray, but I did pre-order season 7 with John Pertwee. I try and pre-order all the Doctor Who, the collection box sets when I can, because again, they could just go for rocking horse shit in subsequent months and go really hefty in price. So I was really happy to get all of those Doctor Who the collection range box sets. It's only season 10 that I'm missing at the minute, but one day I hope to get it, hopefully in the not far distant future. But moving on to vinyl now, I paid a fair amount for this during COVID when I was buying a lot of records during the pandemic and stuff, and I kind of went through a bit of a phase where I was buying a lot of albums off Discogs, and woof, this definitely was probably one of the items I spent the most money on in regards to not just albums on vinyl, but also physical media in general, and that is XTC's Non-Such, the original pressing from 1992. Now, I'm not going to say how much I paid for this, guys, but I am going to say, yeah, it is one of the physical media releases that I've spent the most amount of money on. And did I think it was worth it? Absolutely, because I'm a big XTC fan. They're one of my favourite ever bands. I went through that period where I was trying to buy everything XTC related on vinyl, especially original pressings as well, and I came to the point where this is the only album that I needed part of my XTC vinyl collection, and it is the most amount of money that I've spent on an album, but I thought I was just one away from being complete, and this hit the bill. This completed my XTC vinyl collection. I got this nearly 5 years ago off Discogs. I remember being at the Glasgow record fair in Bella Houston. I saw a copy of this. It did go for a pretty penny, and by the time I went to that vinyl stall, I was nearly spent up, and I didn't have the money to get this at the time. I'm not trying to sound like I'm going on a sympathy note with that, guys, but yeah, by the time I was nearly spent up that day, and yeah, I didn't get it on the day, unfortunately. But then, yeah, a couple of months, there was one listing that went into just my price range, but I was thinking to myself, there's very limited few of these original presses now, and I had to go with my gut instinct, and I bought it, and I made no regrets of getting that original copy of XTC's Non-Such, the original pressing on vinyl. There was the reissue that came out 6 months after this original pressing that I bought, but I just think, as much as I love getting the reissue of an album, when I do, it obviously is because an original version of that album might be a bit out of my price range and I have to settle for the reissue. However, because I had everything else XTC related, like on vinyl and original presses as well, I felt I had to go with my gut instinct, and I got this. Of course, getting the reissue would have been like a lot cheaper and that, but I just had to think to myself, how many chances am I going to get of like like how many chances will I get of getting an original pressing of this album, and there was very limited about, so I got this when I did, and I was absolutely so overjoyed when I finally got an original pressing of this, because this is one of my favourite XTC albums as well. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And I will say that I wouldn't mind at some point getting the original pressings of the Dukes of Stratosphere, like both their albums at some point as well. But very, very happy to get all the albums when I did, like on vinyl, original pressings under the name XTC. So yeah, that's just an example there, like on the music side of things. But I will say as well, there is a band called The Sound. Now, they've just had their albums reissued, and there's like the likes of the albums Jeopardy and From the Lion's Mouth. Now, From the Lion's Mouth, I probably will settle for the reissue, but I'm still happy to get the reissue of that album, because I know it's still going to sound great anyway. And even though I think getting the original pressing would have been far, far superior, but yeah, the original pressing of that goes for triple digits now on Discogs and stuff. So I'm definitely looking to get that vinyl reissue of that. Jeopardy at the minute is, I think, 25 to 30 quid's like the original, the reissue. And I think you can get original pressings of that for at least 30 to 35 quid more. And I'm kind of half tempted to get like an original, hold out and getting an original copy of that, because again, I have to think to myself, this is like pressed on how it was originally pressed on Korova Records, the same label as Echo and the Bunnymen, and it's an album that I think holds great value with that original pressing and how it originally came out as well. And I think it's an absolutely fantastic debut album by the band The Sound. And yeah, I'm kind of holding off for an original of that. But From the Lion's Mouth, I'm kind of just happy of settling for a reissue of that down the line. So guys, that's kind of a bit of my take on physical media releases and kind of what do they mean to me when either an album has come out or when an album does like release and I eventually hold off, and then it kind of then goes for a bit of a pretty penny, and am I willing to go that extra mile of getting it? That's kind of like my take on it. And if you've got any like similar thoughts to this, guys, I would be interested to know all of that stuff in the comments down below. And yeah, like that is kind of like my take on like how physical media, some releases mean to me, like some of which mean to me like in like the past, and then how it's gonna like how much value it's gonna hold in the future. And you know, like regretfully, some physical media releases not getting it upon release, and how I'm willing to go to get this like in the future. That's kind of like my take on it, sort of thing. And yeah, I've had a great it's been a bit food for thought, this sort of like video. So if you've got like any like similar thoughts, or what's your thoughts on like physical media, and yeah, your thoughts on like physical media releases, like either pre-orders or when they come out, or like what's your thoughts on these physical media releases like in the future, of any kind of physical media releases. I would be interested to know all of that good stuff in the comments down below. And I would be interested to know if you got any like thing on like is there anything you anticipating either like in the future for physical media, or like is there any thing that you would love to see, like get like either a 4K release or a Blu-ray release, all that good stuff. I would love to know all of that good stuff in the comments down below. So guys, thanks for all of your continuous support on the channel. I really do appreciate it, guys, and I will be back for more content soon. So thanks for watching, cheers for stopping by, and until next time, I'll see you for the next video. Bye bye.